AEDT 4110U, Assessment for Adult Learning in a Digital Context course. Assignment number 2, Assessing Self-Reflection by Sarah Moretto. What is self-reflection assessment? According to Moss in 2020, self-reflection is a method of assessing your own thoughts and actions for the purpose of personal learning and development. The image below by R.D. Almeida is a perfect layout of exploring your experiences, as it shows the places you can reflect, ways to reflect, questions to ask yourself, and the benefits of self-reflection. Just like any other form of assessment, there are pros and cons. For self-reflection, it allows the learner to reflect on their growth and goals, encourages reflection on the process, and allows you to become aware of your strengths and weaknesses. According to Chan, a disadvantage may be that students are unaware of the assessment criteria, along with the process being time-consuming. Self-reflection is a part of an ongoing process and formative assessment. To quote Costa and Kalik in 2008, reflection is the time to consider what was learned from the experience. Reflection is a time to describe what students saw in their work, what changed, what needed to change, or might need to be described so another person might understand this meaning. Self-assessment can be done in many ways, such as writing journals, whole class or small group discussions, checklists, interviews, and rubrics. According to Intel, these forms of assessment allow the learner to assess their progress in knowledge, skills, strategies, process, and attitude. The process I will be describing today is the Gibbs Reflective Cycle, which consists of 6 steps. This cycle was created in 1988 by Graham Gibbs and first published in his book Learning by Doing. For example, visualize a student of any age as they go about their daily school routine, engaging in lessons, completing assignments, and working individually or in groups. When they participate in discussions or receive a certain mark, should they just accept it or consider what they could have done differently? The same can be done for an educator. How can they keep their students interested and engaged? Could they have approached the situation differently? The first step in the Gibbs Reflective Cycle is description. This step allows you to describe the situation in detail. It is important not to leave anything out. You may consider the following questions. When and where did the situation take place? What happened? What did I do? Was anyone there? If so, what did they do? And what was the end result? The next step is feelings. Some people may have difficulty talking about their feelings, me being one of those people. But it is important to reflect on what triggered you to feel the way you did, as well as what thoughts you were having. Consider some of the following questions. How did you feel before the situation occurred? How did you feel while the situation was happening? If other people were involved, how do you think they felt? And how did you feel after the situation? Next comes the evaluation step. In this step, be sure to evaluate the experience, whether it was positive or negative. Some questions to consider are what worked and what did not work. Did you follow a plan? Did you meet your goals? Did you meet the needs of your students? Were they engaged and interested? And what could you do differently next time? The next step is analysis. This step allows you to reflect on what you learned or gained from the experience, whether it be positive or negative. The next step is conclusion. This allows you to take a step back and evaluate the situation again and think about using the information you collected to answer the following questions. How can this have been a more positive experience? What skills do you need to develop to have better handled the situation? And what could you have done differently? The action plan is the final step to the reflective cycle. By now, you should have identified the areas you need to work on and create a step-by-step plan or revise your current plan for a new learning experience. To conclude my process, self-reflection can be done by anyone looking to improve. Learning is a lifelong process and there is always room for improvement. I hope you enjoyed this video and gained some points on how to self-reflect.